Hello my gorgeous people, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your weekly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's from the 23rd until the 29th of December 2019. So it's from the 23rd until the 29th of December 2019, and I'm going to start with the gorgeous and ever so precious Aries, my beautiful Aries. Oops, look at this, look at this, look at this, my beautiful Aries. This literally jumped out. This is going to be such a crazy week when it comes to you, my gorgeous Aries, indeed, because it's all about your own discovery. It is all about your own accomplishment, but also on another hand, somebody is going to inspire you this week like there is no tomorrow, my gorgeous Aries, and that is going to be something really, really worth mentioning here, because this person who is going to inspire you is going to happen, it's going to manifest right at the right time, really at this very, very important time of your personal growth, which is on another hand going to reflect in you in such a way when you're going to be able to realize that certain situation is going to require your attention, but it's a lot to do with the self-denial, and it's a lot to do with the realization, but it's also a lot to do with you realizing that the certain things slowly came to an end, and it's the best would be to kind of avoid them, but without too much of a disappointment or disappointance that you could actually have. With another words, it's just not to give, it's important to not to give too much attention or too much energy towards like a negative things in your life, because there is going to be a rather important self-illumination that you are going to have. This in itself is going to be really important because it's all about your own accomplishment, realization, and most certainly at the same time there is a really powerful advice that you are going to have. This powerful advice is going to confirm something to you, because most certainly it's going to come from the right person. This is so important because when it comes to your personal magnetism and the personal growth, this week is going to be very important, and it's rather significant for me to say that it is going to be a confusing week when it comes to like things happening around you. It's going to be really busy indeed, but most certainly just keep your head up, because you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested in many different ways. Just do as much as you can this week. Open yourself to as many possibilities that you possibly can. Try to do as many things as you possibly can, and also karmically this is going to be very important week to actually for you to realize that there is a certain relationship about to become a prominent part of your life. This is nobody who is going to turn up or who is going to show up in your life for the first time, but it's somebody that is about to enter your life or re-enter your life, and that person is also going to have a rather interesting idea that it's going to become something quite interesting when it comes to you and when it comes to your own way of thinking, because at the same time this is going to be a rather remarkable and very important as well starting point. You will reach a very significant process when it comes to your own success this week, and most certainly to communities, to certain people that you really want to shine brightly in front of, you know, with your own achievements, with your own power, with your own optimism, with your own success and self-confidence. Most certainly you are going to achieve this, but on another hand, an important moment in time when it comes to the actual new beginning, when it comes to that particular realization that you are going to have about your own potential. Very, very good indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Taurinis, my gorgeous Taurus, my beautiful Taurinis. I love you to bits. This is going to be quite powerful week indeed, because you are reaching a very high level, high stage of your own confidence. You are just going to come across like a rather strange situation, rather bizarre situation, but it's going to be connected to somebody who you know for a really long time as well, and it's also going to be connected to people, to the situations, to the dimensions, somebody that you are really aware of, you really know, and you really appreciate quite a lot. So basically it's just all about you reaching a rather interesting and very significant stage of your life, but on another hand it's just all about going forward in such an important and a very powerful direction and dimension that you are going to have at the same time. I just want to say something that is just going to take over the whole whole week, like in a really good and a positive sense, but especially when it comes to your own balance. I need to say that the inner balance, the actual balance of your inner power, inner energy, and everything else that you are projecting out there at the same time, it's going to be at its peak. So you just need to remember to use it wisely indeed, because you are gonna come across something, the certain information is gonna travel to you, towards you, through somebody who you kind of don't really know, but automatically when you kind of come across that person, there is a certain appreciation that you are going to have for certain reason, and it's to do with some kind of loyalty, it's to do with some kind of appreciation. You see, some kind of very wise option is going to become really evident to you. That wise option is going to be so significant when it comes to the second stage of the certain justice. There is a justice that you are going to have, my gorgeous Taurinis, and this is very important because this is going to reflect on your money, on your finances, on your success, and this is going to reflect on you as well, on your own happiness and your own optimism, because something is at the same time going to inspire you and push you towards the certain new starting point that you wouldn't normally realize. It's very important because on another hand, this is to do with the justice and the proper balance that it's coming in at the same time when it comes to that particular energy, because it's very harmonious, it's very powerful, and it's a lot to do with a particular reward. My gorgeous Taurinis, this week you are going to get reward. This particular reward is just going to mean to you so much, because it's a lot to do with basically the moment in time, and with the time when you had the really greatest intentions, but at the same time you were worrying and you were maybe a little bit scared whether you're going to be taken or you're going to be understood in the wrong way. So now there are a few things that are at the same time going to be rather confirmed here to you, but then on another hand, it's all about the particular advice that you are going to have. That advice that you are going to have is just going to be so good to you, so good for you, because it's going to help you with your own inner peace. But on another hand, you're going to start thriving through your own power, and it's just a certain potential about yourself. It's going to jump out. It's going to jump out of you. It will want to jump out of you and stand in front of you and just literally grab you and say to you like, please, go through me, take me. You need to change this. This is at the same time going to reflect on the certain changes, because you will know, my gorgeous Taurinis, that you are going to be able to change your life. You are going to be able to start this particular and very important changes. It is some kind of very, very important decision that you are going to be thinking about this week, but especially by the end of this week, you're going to make that decision, and that decision that you're going to make, it's going to come out of the actual peak of your own radiance, which means that your power is going to be super enhanced, which you will be able to connect yourself psychically to such a stages of your life, of your future in the actual 2020 year in general, without even realizing. And this is why it's so important. Just pay attention to what is like popping out around you. Pay attention to any synchronicities, and pay attention, my gorgeous Taurinis, what do you kind of feel drawn to, because this is all going to be this part of this powerful vibration that is also going to be activating you at the same time by making sure so you need to make sure and pay attention to what is making you feel happy, what is making you feel ecstatic, what is making you feel good, and also the certain particular problem that is absolutely as annoying as anything, it will return, but this time you're going to have a completely different reflection and the conclusion will come through. And this week most certainly needs to come from you, through you, by your own accord, and this is going to be the time of the very much so personal growth, and most immediately the change is going to kick in. And the way the change is going to kick in, when you will know that the things are going to slowly start changing for you, is because of this powerful vibration. It's also going to start to re-energizing you right around the end of this week indeed. Okay, The third sign that I'm going to be talking about, of course, is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Geminini. My Geminini, you are going to make a really important decision here. And this is so, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to stress this. I don't even know how to scream this. You are going through lots of changes, my gorgeous Gemininis. The changes that you are going through are going to be very much so reflect on you, your personal life, your relationships, your love life, and your business, your finances. Like, there is a lot going on at the moment. Things are a little bit shaky, but then this shakiness, it's not going to be shaky for too long. At the same time, you are becoming very strong, and you are becoming very powerful, and you're becoming very significant in the eyes of those people who you want to be significant in. So you're building something very special as we go along, as we speak, as we are moving towards the end of this particular week. There is a very sacred energy and sacred power that you are going to have. The confusing time is going to return a little bit, just a little bit, right before the end of this week, just to remind you that things that made you feel confused were the right things that you decided to do, that you were uncertain, were the right things, you see. And that in itself, it's also going to provide you with an important vision. That vision that you're going to have, my gorgeous Geminini, it's going to happen this week, and this vision is going to be very important, and it's also going to become a rather Valvumish moment in time for you, because it's going to enhance your inner power, enhance your inner strength, and therefore you're going to start creating a big change, a big option, and very slowly, and you're going to make an important and rather significant decision. But this is going to be very heavy on certain levels, but then on another hand, you will know that the changes are coming, and it's going to be relevant from you to also make a necessary adjustment in order to move on with your life. June 2020, it's going to be very important, my gorgeous Gemininis, because you're going to make an important, quite significant decision here. And that decision, it's also going to be like an incredible starting point. In June 2020, it's going to be the biggest confirmation for you, my gorgeous Gemininis, that what is going on in your life right now that is bringing you down, that is making you feel unhappy, that is making you feel uneasy, it's just and absolutely it's requiring from you to act in a certain way, and that you may not understand yourself. This is all going to make sense, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. As more negativity or uncertainty you're going through right now this particular week, my gorgeous Gemininis, the more powerful and the more significant and the more strong it's going to be later on, indeed. Also, resolution of a problem is coming. Resolution of the big problem, my gorgeous Gemininis, this week, the actual conclusion, and that in itself is going to bring you a wonderful healing and also satisfactory result, and most certainly the beautiful inspiration. After this week, if you had any worries about security and power, you know you will be able to see the beautiful sunshine, the beautiful sun at the end of the tunnel, indeed. Okay, step in the right direction, my gorgeous Gemininis. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Cancerinis, my gorgeous Cancerians. Okay, there is a very significant stage that a certain thing is coming to an end, and it's also, you need to understand that sometimes, the certain people come into our lives, and certain people go out of our lives as well, but most importantly, there is a certain lesson that you're going to learn and realize through somebody who is slowly drifting away from your life. This doesn't mean to be like a necessarily somebody who's drifting slowly away. Perhaps it's just going to be the person. It symbolizes the person that you haven't seen for a really long time, that means to you so much, that you should be doing certain things around and certain things with, but you're not doing. So now this is just this confusing situation about somebody in your life. It's going to make sense, and it's also not only that, it's going to provide you with a certain realization, and it's also going to to provide you with a certain idea or certain option, but most importantly, there is a very big lesson that you're actually going to learn. Very, very big lesson indeed. And also, you know, when it comes to your personal integrity and power, this week is going to be very strong, and it's going to be very, very significant, because you're going to come across something legal that you're really going to have to do. And it's not really, I just have to say that you don't really necessarily have to do it like this week, but you need to make a certain decision. Something legal you need to do, something legal you need to sort out, something legal you need to change, and it is going to require a little bit of your own kind of like an input, you know, when it comes to your energy and things like that. And also when it comes to your health and things like that, this is absolutely remarkably perfect week to actually try to have a certain checkups. And if you were worrying about certain things like what should you do, should you go for a checkup, or should you do this, should you do that, that's exactly what you need to do. You may not like book yourself right this week and see someone this week by the look of it, you know, in the world, you know, but it's just the basic, it takes slightly longer. But as long as you try to kind of like use the energy, the powerful energy and this vibration of this week, and try to book something this week, if you go 2 months later, the energy is still going to be attached to this particular week, so you will be able to benefit from this vibration. And I'm saying it's important because you will go with the flow, and on another hand, this is going to provide you with like an insight that you wouldn't normally have, because you will have that power of getting things and realizing things from a different angle at the same time. So this is something that you should really, really do. And also, my gorgeous Cancerinis, this is quite important to say that there is a news that you are going to receive, that you are going to get at around the end of this week. This new news will be very important, and it's at the same time going to provide you with an option. It's to do with the next stage, but it's also to do with the fact that you need to take things slowly, and you need to be patient, and it's just one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. An opportunity is also going to present itself, and I quite like it. And most certainly, please try to reward yourself, because this week you will realize that you're in for some really good and important changes, and that is going to kind of like take certain energy away from you. So it will be quite important for you to think about your own rejuvenation. Try to like step back from the situation to regain your confidence, regain your power, regain your energy by like meditating and by like grounding yourself in the forest, perhaps, you know, like somewhere by the water you're going to benefit from. It's the time of unfoldment that is going to lead towards a certain celebration. So anything new that you want to start, anything new that you want to try, anything unusual that you want to do, anything where you need a little bit of confidence, just do it, just do it, just do it. There is an also great honor that you are going to receive from somebody, and I really like it because this is going to mean the world of good to you. Okay? The next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Leonis. My gorgeous Leonis, you know what, like as we go, you know, as we move along, of course that you've got the Hierophant, as we go along, as we move along, you know, the more and more and more you seem to become wiser. You're going through a very, very perceptive stage of your life. You're going through a very deep stage of your life. You know, you're becoming very wise. And if you have ever been wise, you know, if you have ever felt wise, you've never felt like as wise as you're feeling now. You just have to tune in a little bit, listen to your feelings, listen to your emotions, listen to your subconscious mind, try to connect to your dreams, and just to remember that this life is not really long, you know, it's just we are 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, like that. My point is, if you're unhappy because of whichever reason, you need to make a change now. If something is bringing you down, you need to kind of think about it now. If something is like if something is making you unhappy and like making your life really difficult and uneasy, you need to think like, what are these problems now that are affecting you in such a way? It's very, very important for you to realize that you are reaching a ridiculously important stage of your life. There is the decision that you're going to need to make, that it's not going to be the best, because I say it's not going to be the best because emotions emotionally you are going to be uneasy to emotionally it's going to be a little bit uneasy for you to understand whether you're ready for this particular change that is about to start happening. Please don't get too paranoid or anything like that. This is really good, and it's a step in the right direction, and it's all about you and your own realization that the things are going to start changing in your life, but it is going to require from you to make a necessary effort, but at least to kind of like come to terms with a certain issue, certain problems that is not going to be changing. And then as soon as you do this, then there is a certain balance of energy that you get, which is like helps you so much with your own balance, and that on another hand reflects on other people, and that on another people and situations around you. So it's very important. And also it is the certain person in your life that needs your emotions, needs your feelings, needs your energy. And on one hand there is a somebody that you should be around, perhaps you are away from the certain person that you should want to be close around, but then on another hand this person is also good, and it's going to be an important part of your process because it's going to help you to make a significant decision when it comes to the certain changes. This is the beginning of changes, but it's very much so to do with you and your particular unfoldment, something that is going to take a while, but it's just on you to understand that you are in for changes. These are going to be good changes, powerful changes, very significant changes that are slowly but surely going to start sorting your lives out. What I said at the beginning, this life is too short, it just goes like that. That's why if someone is missing in your life, get them over. If you want to be closer to someone, go be being closer to someone, whatever you want to do, but especially so much emotionally, you need to think of now. You need to start thinking about now, because that in itself is going to be an important time when it's also going to be like a significant and very integral part of a start of this unfoldment, but it's just so up to you. Very important realization emotionally, which is just going to make you feel so much happier inside, and that is going to reflect on everything else when it comes to work, when it comes to your success, because you will see how much this situation, uneven situation, was taken away from you. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about now, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Virgolini. My gorgeous Virgolini, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la. You are going to have like a quiet, significant beginning of a major stage in your life when it comes to the certain change. This is all about your confidence. This is all about your power, and it's also about the time and the moment in time when maybe the certain people were bringing you down, the certain people were preventing you to move on and preventing you to be happy and preventing you to grow, and certain people were also preventing you to start your own transformation. Oh dear. This happens very often when we are surrounded by the people that we shouldn't be surrounded. We are surrounded by the toxic people. We are surrounded by the toxic energy. And sometimes when the certain situation or certain people come to an end, when it comes to our spiritual journey, this does reflect on us in many different ways, because maybe we can just try to go any further with these people or situations that came to an end. But if these people and situations came to an end, this is going to reflect on us in such a way that even if we don't realize and we want to push, we want to try, then we're going to get to the certain terms at some point, because this is just going to end up dragging our energy, and that is going to reflect on us like in a negative way. We're going to feel like really, really tired and really negative, and it's just going to drain our energy, and that is going to be the feeling and emotion where we're going to realize that the things are slowly changing and it's time to move on. You are just going to be very much so going to get an important stage when it comes to your success, an important stage when it comes to your power, and also like an important stage when it comes to the certain harmony. The certain harmony is going to kick in, it's going to come through, and that in itself is going to be a very good time for you, because it's also going to be a moment when you're going to need to make a certain judgment. The judgment that you're going to need to make, you're also going to need to be very clever in such a sense to just think positive, think positive, because at the same time you will be tested. You will be tested, something is going to go on, and it's maybe going to make you like a little bit maybe stroppy, or maybe a little bit negative, and that in itself is going to be the moment in time where you're going to need to make this decision. So you just need to make sure that other things around you don't affect you or don't reflect on you in a negative way, because this is all going to be the part of your process, the part of your power, the part of your radiance, which is going to lead towards your own transformation. You see, it's a challenging situation, but most certainly you're going to go through this, my gorgeous Virgolinis, and it's all about just looking at the things from a different angle. It's the sadness that you will think it's a sadness, my gorgeous Virgolinis, because emotionally something is going to affect you, because you will know that you're also going to need to kind of like follow your own inner peace. You're going to need to follow your inner balance, and you know, it's just like you will see where you were lying to yourself, you know. And this is important, my gorgeous Virgolinis, because now we are slowly, my babies and my bambinis and my bambinas, we are coming slowly to the end of the year. And I told you, you know, it's all about this unfoldment. As we are getting closer to the end of the year, this particular vibration and balance is more powerful, it's more enhanced, and it's more intense, and it's a lot of unfoldment happening right at around the end of this year. And this is why, because all the things that we are meant to do, that we should do, that we are still going to have a certain options and certain opportunity to react in a certain way, they shall return as an unfinished business by the end of this year, which is by the end of December 2019. And it's again going to provide you with an opportunity to actually make a necessary edit or a necessary adjustments. For you, my gorgeous Virgolinis, this is coming at a peak of creativity, but at the same time, that peak of creativity, it's gonna sharpen up your focus. It's gonna make you feel really good. It's going to rejuvenate you in a sense of like good feeling when it comes to the confidence to your own accomplishment. So you are gonna have a very good news when it comes to your own particular security and power, and that in itself is just so good, and it's going to sharpen you up. And this emotion, this feeling, this particular energy is going to be responsible for you getting a balance where you didn't have balance. And you're also going to realize that, you know what, there is a particular stage of your life that you will want to change, but this is so big, my gorgeous Virgolinis, this is big. This is going to be massive. This is going to be huge. And you will know that you're reaching a very significant stage. You've tried in many different ways. You've tried things many different times. But these particular things and situations that I'm referring to, it's a lot to do with what you do, with your life in general, with like a really big things that you have been focusing on. But it's going to require from you to do massive changes. Therefore, you were just wanting to try and do things from a slightly different angle, like a differently, but now you will realize you will have this very strong confirmation that you will receive through your own confidence, which is going to come through your own accomplishment, and also the praising of a certain people. It's going to make from the certain people, it's going to make you feel rather vavavumish, and something is going to surprise the level of success. It's going to surprise you in a really good way, and you are going to have a quite important psychic moment. And that psychic moment, it's also going to make you realize, confirm something to you, and there is going to become a very strong focus for you to do something and to go this particular road that you wouldn't normally go. That particular road that you will go, it's going to show itself, it's going to make itself known by the end of this week, and you're going to start something, you're going to do something, you're going to start something with the way of your thinking, and where you're going to start achieving this so much, it's going to be in September 2020. My gorgeous Virgolinis, you're going to start something absolutely mind-blowing and very important, but it's only the beginning of this thinking through your own thinking process. But the power of your mind is going to be so strong when it comes to the actual manifestation, and this is only the beginning of an unfoldment with your own thinking, and you're so powerful, and this will return proper physically in a big way in September 2020. Just think, my gorgeous Virgolinis, is just think and be as open-minded as you can, because you will kind of reveal things to the universe, to your spirit guides, to your guardian angels while you're sleeping throughout this week, and they will be sending you all sorts of informations and confirmations throughout this week, because it's rather sacred. What's the very first thing on your mind in the morning, my gorgeous Virgolinis, throughout this week? Very, very big week indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Libra. My gorgeous Libra, my beautiful, beautiful Libra, 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 Libra. Very, very good, my gorgeous Libra. Very, very good. You know, you're also going to surprise yourself, like, you know, when it comes to kind of some kind of very big stage of your life, it's going to surprise you in such a way where something is going to have an unfoldment at the beginning of the week, and it's just not going to happen as quick as you would want to. It's not going to unfold as quick as you would want to, but that is going to be the biggest moment, you know, that is going to be the greatest, because that in itself is going to put you in touch with a certain person who you wouldn't normally be in touch with if you didn't kind of feel, or if you've never felt certain unsatisfaction about a significant stage of your life. This, my gorgeous Libras, it's going to be the moment that is just going to reveal something absolutely mind-blowing, because an important news is going to come through that particular situation, through this person. An important news that you are going to hear, it's also going to help you realize some kind of illumination around your path, around your life, that you wouldn't normally realize. And this is only because you're reaching a very significant stage of your own personal power. That in itself is going to put you immediately towards the big change, but that big change is also going to kind of like be very much so connected to the time of your life when you had like a difficulties launching project and with an unfinished business from the past which is about to return. And this was something that was happening within the last 2 years. You were trying, and you were like, oh my lord, it just didn't work, it just didn't work. So an unfinished business, it shall return. It will come back this week for you, my gorgeous Libras, and that is a very sacred stage, because it means that there is something very special for you going to happen there. And this is all connected to that particular important news that I had. And also, most certainly, this is the time of the proper balance, because you will just feel like, oh, thank God, I really deserve this. And most certainly, this is the moment in time where you will kind of like find yourself rather indecisive. And it's very, very tricky that at around the end of this week, my gorgeous Libra, you're going to be like quite indecisive, like which option you should go for. And there's the certain option that is going to be A, connected to letter A, okay, and connected to letter R as well. Letter A and letter R for Robert. A for Alison and R for Robert are going to be very significant when it comes to this new stage, when it comes to your decision, when it comes to new option, and when it comes to this particular realization that you wouldn't normally have. At the same time, it's the creativity that you are going to have, and it's all about this new option, but it's just about the potential. It's the hidden side of you that you're not doing, hidden side of you that you're not enjoying, something that you should be doing but you're not doing, something that you should be enjoying but you're not enjoying, something that you should be going through but you're not going through, and it's going to be an integral part of your thriving. And because this is all about the process that you will go through, that is going to illuminate you like there is no tomorrow. I really like this because it's all about your personal magnetism, which is going to be at its peak. And most certainly the person in your life that you were worrying about, something, a certain person in your life, it's going to be it's going to have the greatest news. But this is so much to do with their problem, their path, their situation, their negativity that reflected on you in such a way where you didn't even realize it, like a very close family member, most certainly. But also there's going to be a little surprise for you, that you're going to have when you hear something about a certain family member. But then on another hand, you know, if you feel like a challenging, just remember, my gorgeous Libra, it's important to rise above the situation, rise above the situation, because through your own cleverness, through your own power, when you're going to be like challenged in a certain way this week, you know, please try to remember, through your own cleverness, through your own power, through your own intelligence, through your own like a very beautiful energy and wise choice, you're actually going to be able to see the situation from a different angle. And that, my gorgeous Libras, it's also going to become an important time of the unfoldment, because through that you will reach the certain conclusion of the certain problem. And this is all about you going on the next stage of your life, and most certainly the clear focus that you're going to have, it's also going to become the very important time of illumination. Not only illumination, but also transformation. Okay, anything that you need to do new, anything that you need to do like that you feel like a bit of a confidence to do, anything that you feel like you need a bit of a creativity and this powerful energy, you know, to push you towards something, you know, especially if it came through like indecisiveness that caused like uncertainness, and that prevents you to have a certain vision. You know, just remember that this is about to change. You're going to become the part of the rather interesting situation this week, and that situation is going to put you in touch with people. You're going to be around people who are going to inspire you so beautifully, and that energy is going to create a certain channel, and that channel is also going to create a very strong connection in between you and your future, and therefore you're going to be able to sense something very, very big coming through, and an important psychic vision. My gorgeous Libra, prepare for an important psychic vision about yourself and about your life through a very, very strange way. You will see exactly what I mean, but most certainly the moment of an unfoldment, it's also going to give you a very, very big reason for the celebration. Certain things you will not even be able to explain how you feel excited about, but this is when your little subconscious baby is just going to be like kind of coming through and just growing within you. Prepare for something very special, my gorgeous Libra, indeed. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Scorpioni. My gorgeous Scorpios, my gorgeous Scorpios, you see, it's just basically, it's so good because it's like financially, this is going to be a really good week, but also it's not only financially, but when it comes to like a certain friendships and intense friendships, but in the best possible way, this is also going to be playing an important role. It's going to be quite significant situation that is going to arise, because you're also going to be kind of feel like quite challenging. You're going to feel a quite challenging situation around certain people, and please, it is going to be required from you to kind of give 100%. Whatever you're doing this week, my gorgeous Scorpionis, just make sure that you are giving 100%, because you're going to be tested without even realizing. This testing is going to be so important for you to get this right. I'm not talking about like being someone who you're not. I'm not talking about pretending to be phony, you know. I'm not talking about trying to do something that you don't want to do. This is all about your life, and it's all about yourself, and it's all about the common sense, and it's all about giving 100% whatever you do this week, because there is going to be the certain test that you will go through. But when you see the way you were tested, when you see the way this challenge kind of transformed, and the way this challenge kind of manifested in your life, and what the challenge is going to be, and what a great outcome you're actually going to have, it's going to be rather mind-blowing to you, because this is going to be connected to the certain issue and to the certain problem that was preventing you to move on, that was bringing you down, and that was also like kind of affecting your confidence and self-esteem, because it's coming from the period and the stage of your life where you didn't do that great, and maybe you were like kind of like unhappy with yourself and uneasy in yourself because you didn't achieve what you didn't want to achieve. But most certainly it's to do with your spiritual journey. Very very sacred week you're going to have, because it's connected to your karma, which means it's connected to the situation that you did and you were part of not that long ago, and that situation made you feel really unhappy with your own reaction. So it is going to require from you to dig into that a little bit deeper, a little bit further, and something very special is going to be there for you. The personal growth, it's going to be incredible, it's going to be amazing, but also at the same time it's going to inspire you. It's going to inspire you, and that energy and that feeling is going to be so good, because it's going to be the return of the balance that you didn't have in an absolute ages, and that in itself is going to also help you with the resolution of the certain problem, because the murky area, the murky waters around you are not going to be murky anymore, and it's just going to be like the decision that you will kind of follow through. It's to do with the big wish, it's to do with the big dream, it's to do with the big change as well, and the return, very special and very sacred return. It's you going back somewhere where you were before. It's you being part of the stage, part of the energy, part of the dimension where you belong. This is very deep, it's very spiritual, and it's followed by a very difficult and stage part of your life that is slowly coming to an end. You did your bit, you did your part, you did your karma, you did your spiritual journey, and now not only this is going to come to a very important stage of your personal growth, rebirth and power, but it's also going to help you to reach a decision that only if you think, and you will know, okay, I know what I'm going to do. You may not do it straight away, you may not start making it and start focusing and start kind of like manifesting straight away, but it's all about getting the balance right when it comes to our way of thinking, when it comes to the new stage, new part of our life, and just kind of go with the flow and just basically let yourself like float. And this in itself is absolutely important, because it's a lot to do with your wish, and it's a lot to do with your desire, and something very important is going to happen when it comes to problem solving, but also very satisfying relationship. It's going to take place that it's going to make you feel so much better about yourself, and it's most certainly going to be vice versa. Very good indeed. Try to make sure that you are drinking as much as water as you can this week, because it's going to help to flush out the toxins out of the system. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Sagittarini. My gorgeous Sagittarius, you know what? Like, oh my lord, this is the week of personal progress and growth and magnetism and power. You will be on top of the world. Your energy is just going to be so strong and very highly vibrational. Highly vibrational energy means that you strictly must trust yourself. On one hand, you are going to be tricked in the situation, because emotionally try to not to get confused. You need to think what's the best for yourself. You need to think what comes to you. You need to think what makes you happy. You need to think what motivates you. You need to think what makes you feel vavavumish. Don't try to like kind of get confused with other people, because something very much so it's going to come through your own bubble, through the certain feelings and emotions. Certain cloudness is going to try to come through, maybe like a little bit of an argument maybe with somebody, or like a maybe disagreement with somebody. You must not let it to get you, okay, because there will be like a little bit of a challenging situation that you are going to have. So this is my important thing that I wanted to say. This is a very important advice indeed, because at the same time there is something absolutely vavavumish going to take place. You're going to hear something, an important realization, an important news, and that news that you're going to hear, it's going to give you a green light. Your green light is coming, my gorgeous Sagittarinis. This week, it's going to bring you an unfoldment that you expected. Also, you just have to go through, you have to trust yourself, trust your personal power, trust your radiance. It's going to be amazing, but there is also going to be a little surprise that it's is going to take place. The surprise that is going to take place, it's going to be like it's going to come through as in a form of the new option, new opportunity, but also financially when it comes to security and power, it's going to be really good. Keep your eyes open, keep your mind open, okay? Whatever comes to you this week, Sagittarini, go for it, okay? Whatever you feel like doing, go for it, okay? Whatever you feel like trying, go for it. Any new option that comes through, go for it, because the land is going to be completely fertile, okay? So even if you're like doing something, like for example, even if you're retired, for example, and then you're like focusing on maybe making like a little statues like or something, yeah, and then you just kind of like feel like, oh, maybe I should try learn how to do like painting on statues, like if I don't know how to do it. This is it. Anything that comes through like that, it doesn't come just, oh yeah, like this. It's going to come through the sacred path, through the sacred, the actual dimension. And this is an important moment that at the same time, it's going to confirm something to you about your own success and power, but it's also at the same time going to become something big. The bottom line is anything new, like a little learning experience that you could have in addition to what you do, just please, you need to take it, you need to do it, you need to take it, because this is the time of your personal radiance. Also, on another hand, if you have got anything to try, anything to start, it's so important to take it and to do it, because wherever it's taken, it's going to take you where you should be. However, it is going to provide you with a shortcut. This shortcut. It's a spiritual shortcut that happens just once a year. And spiritual shortcuts provide you with a reward, with an opportunity after a long period of uncertainty, of not things maybe happening as quick, as fast. But it's also like a reward to you for your own hard work, for the creativity, and karmically, you have done something so good, so important for somebody, my gorgeous Sagittarius, that this is karmically also about to return this week. And it's therefore provide you with this particular option. You see that there you go, the Chariot, absolutely remarkable. The success is nearly due, and this is really good. And that in itself, just a realization that you're moving on like really rather nicely, is just that in itself. It's also going to reveal the very, very powerful illumination, which is at the same time going to also provide you with an option, with an opportunity that is just immediately going to kind of change the boring and stale and very, very unnecessary part of your life that became really stale. But on another hand, it's going to become the part of your rebirth. Just remember to always look at the things from a completely different angle, and no matter how things seem, you will be going forward. Be open-minded, and ready for change, my gorgeous Sagittarius. Very, very good indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Capricornius. My gorgeous Capricorn, ooh la la, my babies, ooh la la. It is all about you need to kind of come closer to the certain person. There's a certain person that you need to sort something out with. Very important, because that other person is going to have some kind of some changes start to happen to them, some kind of changes, and then things that may not be as the same as before. So this week you will be provided with an opportunity to fix certain patches, okay, and to fix certain things when it comes to you and when it comes to certain people in your life, certain people that you might have had a little bit of argument with that you don't want to, certain people that you were left like a little bit uncertain when it comes to your feelings, certain people that you felt like a little bit unfinished business, maybe a little bit of argument, maybe something happened. However, something is going to be fixed with this particular person this week, my gorgeous Capricornians. But this is very important, this is very emotional, but also on another hand, it's going to be testing you, testing your love, testing your emotions, and and testing your emotional level and emotional impact that you are going to have. It's at the same time going to make you creative, because it is just going to help you with your own personal growth. This is the time, the moment of the personal growth and power, but in particular when it comes to your own transformation, but emotionally you're going to have to do this to start with, this first. On another hand, you see, it is about the actual very strong moment in time when it comes to the actual personal growth, power and courage, you know. It is the first few days you will hear something really good about yourself and something that you didn't hear in a long time, some kind of praise, and it's going to give you confidence and it's going to give you a really beautiful boost, and that in itself it's going to make you realize that you are, you know, your personal power and courage are going to be very significant here, and that in itself it's also going to kind of make you realize that there is a stage of your life that it's going to require your attention, something that you need to do and need to go through in order to get where you want to get, but it's a lot to do with a certain timing, and that in itself is going to help you to reflect and realize it's great, it's good, but you must not lose your confidence, you must not lose your power. You will be tested, my gorgeous Capricornians, you will be tested like there is no tomorrow, but it's important for me to say is that you just need to remember to stay committed to the task at hand. As more annoying things you're going through, the more powerful you're going to be. As more tested you are, the better it's going to be. If you're working 100 hours this week, you know, just go for it. I'm not saying that you should be working 100 hours, you know, don't get me like literally, but it's just so important to do anything you need to do. If you need to paint your whole home, for example, just go for it and do it. Any action you do, you will be reward. Any hard work, it's going to be reward. You're entering an absolutely mind-blowing, ooh la la, stage of your own energy, which is just also going to bounce back at you immediately when it comes to your own vibration, and it shall reward you. It will reward you, not in a sense of an unfinished business when it comes back in return within like 12 months normally, but no baby, no, this shall all happen within 1 week. But in particular, this week is going to be responsible for you making for having certain success and having this particular realization that it's actually going to start making you realize how powerful you are, how big you are, and that in itself is going to open your eyes towards the possibilities you wouldn't have, but most certainly a particular opportunity that is going to come through, it's actually going to change your life. Absolutely fantastic, and it's all boiling down to this particular opportunity that you are going to have, that is going to make you feel so determined. You're going to feel very honored that you're actually able to get to this stage of your life. You're going to feel very good. On one time, it's going to be an enlightening experience for you, but on another hand, some kind of spiritual leader, it's a spiritual person, like a spiritual guru, it's also going to confirm to you, you know, sometimes, you know, you just need to make that push, you know, sometimes you don't know what things are until you try them, you know, you don't know what the energy is on the other side until you get there, but that in itself just requires a bit of a push from you, and that push is going to come, it's going to happen when you get a particular confirmation. At the same time, as I said, you're going to get a confirmation when it comes to your own spiritual leader, and that is going to be amazing because it's just going to make you feel so good. On one hand, you're going to test your stamina, test your power, but on another hand, it's going to be brilliant because an indecisive situation is most certainly going to become something that you would be so indecisive. Now you're going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to go for it, and that then you will know, my gorgeous Capricornians, that this is the time of your own awakening. This is the time of your own spiritual awakening, and it's going to be big. It's going to be huge indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my powerful Aquarius. You see, straight away I dropped like 3,000 cards. Aquarius, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars. Sorry about my singing. My gorgeous Aquamarinis, you know, it's just all boiling down to that particular moment. Tick tock, tick tick tock, tick tock, Tick, tick, tock, my gorgeous aquamarinis, I love you so much, my gorgeous aquamarinis, but you're also going to have to really take it easy this week. You are going to be under a little bit of a pressure. Sorry, but it's just so much to do with it's very deep. It's very very complex situation because emotionally you will be all over the place. Now that's very vague, isn't it? Like emotionally you will be all over the place. Basically what I mean is that something is going to be triggered for you this week, but it's not bad. This is going to be good, and it's most certainly going to touch on a certain subject. It's going to refresh you a little bit, shake you up a little bit, but most certainly it's gonna subconsciously push you towards the certain subjects, the certain pressure. It's going to cause you to react in a certain way like you wouldn't normally react with a certain person in particular, and that is going to be really good reaction indeed, because maybe they will not like it necessarily, something that is going to come out of you, something that you're going to say, the way you're going to react, but that, my gorgeous aquamarinis, it's going to be like bam bam bam, an amazing moment in time, because it's going to get this vibration that is going to surprise this other person. This is very deep, and it's very very spiritual, very deep. But what is going to happen is that moment you will be able to raise this particular issue. This particular issue is going to come through, and it's a lot to do with something that was caused in between you and somebody else, in the past, not that long ago, and it caused a rather heavy energy indeed. And it's not baby no, it's not something that you can run away from. It's very deep. It's deep within you. It's deep within your family, perhaps, within the people that mean to you so much. So therefore, you're gonna have to sort this out. This problem is gonna arise through this situation, but you're gonna need to sort this out for once and for all, because this is not about the unfinished business, but this is also about your own reflection. This is also about your own growth, about your own spiritual journey, and your focus is not going to be clear until you sort this out. This is at the same time going to make you feel a little bit disappointed, but please, no, I'm not going to be no, it's not bad, negative, it's basically no, this is it needs to get worse in order to get better. There is something that you need to change around you, my gorgeous aquamarine. Something is not right when it comes to your family, when it comes to your immediate people around you, but you need to realize what is going on, because at the same time the things are going to require your own edit, your own adjustment, a little bit of readjustment, and then a little bit of a certain culmination of the certain stage that was very slow. Now it's just going to jump back at you, and it's going to require some kind of a discontinuation of something, but it needs to come from you. Is the realization that is also at the same time going to be important, because it's just going to bring you the greatest enlightening effect, and you will know how important you are. You will know how powerful you are. You will know how much people actually benefit from you, how much people benefit from your energy. But I'm talking about the people in your life. I'm talking about people who love you. I'm talking about people who appreciate you, and I'm talking about people who respect you, because these people who respect you and who love you, who appreciate you, they're at the moment a little bit worried about you. You see, your reading just went, my gorgeous aquamarinis, but it's important because it looks like you have made a decision not that long ago that you need to change. There's something that needs to change with your life, with your personal life, but it needs to come from you. People around you, people in your life are a little bit worrying about you, worried because they think it's time to move on, time to change things, but it needs to come from you. And the way this happened in your life, the way this manifested in your life, it just happened so quickly, just like a little bunny, boom, just jump. And this is how quickly this happened, and it changed your life immediately. But it's just a certain readjustment, realization that you need to have. But first you need to address where the problem is, okay? As I said, the people in your life are kind of worrying about you because of that. So this is very, very important for you to change, because also on another hand, you see, my bambinis and my bambinas, on another hand, there is going to be the greatest balance that you're going to have. You will hear a very good news when it comes to your career, when it comes to your finances, but when it comes to your personal power. Very good news, step in the right direction, which is on another hand going to be very beautiful and fertile moment in time when it comes to you, like a focusing and planning for the future. That you certain plan for the future that it's going to take place. It's also going to help your confidence grow so much. Any plan about the future that you have, any plan, I know it's a festive moment in time, it's a very festive period and all that, yeah, I know it's important, but then hey, it's still a very powerful time when it comes to the actual ground and area and dimension being rather fertile. So you just have to think about your own success. This is all about you, just not just sit and think, God, but just every now and then, just when you're drifting away, when you're relaxing, maybe when you're like meditating, when you're contemplating, just like basically you will see, you just need to start that particular process of thinking what is making you feel good about your success, what is making you feel excited, what is making you feel great, what is making you feel ecstatic, what is making you feel so brilliant, what is making you feel so creative, what is raising your energy, what is raising your vibration, raising your power immediately to the point when you feel like, oh yes, that's what I'm gonna do. That's all what you need to do. You just need to attach yourself to that particular energy. Whatever you need to do, whatever you need to start, it's so important. Just knock on your spiritual subconscious door. You'll be all over the place, indeed, in many different ways, and that in itself is going to reveal something so important to you when it comes to your immediate future, but also that it's going to become an integral part of your power, of your vision, of your request, at the same time when it comes to your future planning, and that is going to raise your vibration to absolute 1000s of levels higher, indeed, and that it's going to reflect on your own strength, and at that moment in time you will have a control over a situation. Your lucky number is going to be number 11. You can have this in your pocket throughout the week because these are highly powerful numbers, highly energetic, highly strong, absolutely amazing numbers when it comes to the beginning of something absolutely sacred stage in your life. You are at the entrance of something that is about to change your life, my gorgeous aquamarinis. This is how important this is. Keep your head up, be very optimistic and be very positive, and anything emotional you have to deal with, just go for it. Listen to your heart, listen to your mind, enhance, connect to your third psychic eye. It's going to be very strong and very important moment in time for you, and it's most certainly time to shine. It is all about the new potential, new beginning, new energy, but it's a moment in time that is going to help you thrive by realization and by feeling all this great energy, and it's most certainly the time of your power and transformation, which is about to start. Wow. Okay? The next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Piscelinis. My gorgeous Piscelinis, this is the one card. You see this? Absolutely incredible, of course, but I'm going to take another one just because I feel it. You're going to get a second card out. This is just so good, and it's also like so important to say that it is going to be just a little bit of baby stress, baby stress, baby stress, baby stress, a little bit of the baby stress that you are going to feel this week. But at the same time, I just want to say to you that I know it's going to sound weird, but as more stressful you are, the more powerful you are going to be. As more low you feel this week, the more powerful you're going to be. As more bizarre you feel this week, the more strong you're going to be. This is purely because you're reaching a rather important and very high levels of your own subconscious mind. Okay, you're very deep, as I said before, you're very spiritual and you're very powerful in many different ways. And what you, not that you don't know, but what you, the power that you don't use sometimes is the power of creation when it comes to your own mind, because people don't think very often that, like, even when we think, it's the energy. The power of our mind is the energy. Our thoughts is our energy. If you say that somebody's really, if you're thinking that somebody's really stupid or somebody negative about someone, they will be able to feel this. Even without you saying. You don't need to say to them, oh, you're stupid or something. You know, they will be able to feel what you're thinking because of the power of the mind. The energy, it's powerful. The energy is strong. It exists, you know. It's like a wind. You don't see it, but it's there. And this is the energy. This is the power of our mind. This is the power of our thought. Why am I saying this to you again? It's because you're one of the signs that are one of the most enhanced indeed when it comes to the actual power of your mind. This is so important because just make sure you understand that that little bit of baby stress that you will have throughout this week is coming from a very important and very sacred and very enhanced and very stretched stage of your life. A lot that you were worrying about was boiling down to this particular moment, but this is very much so connected to the whole year. It's connected to the negativity. It's connected to like you feeling the things are very slow. It's connected like to the moments in time where you didn't feel like a wake-up call in a really long time because you felt like you were restrained. You felt like you couldn't like really enjoy yourself. You felt like there were no changes. This is all sometimes working so much against us because it's doing nothing by building the certain barriers and building the certain walls around us. And then we find ourselves in a situation where we can't really not only see around us, so we can't find motivation, but we simply can't move. And that becomes a very dangerous and very stale period and stage because we get tested and tested and tested all the time, and everything we do everything we do or start, it seems like so heavy, it seems so bad, it seems so negative. And this is because we've lost that power of subconscious mind, which is helping us at the same time to like kind of push us forward when we feel really low and when we feel really down. So therefore, subconsciously, what happened with you, Pisceline, is you kind of blocked yourself from moving forward. This is nothing bad. It happens to lots of signs, you see, indeed. And this is very important because at least it's coming to an end. You see, the blockage, the personal blockage that you did to yourself. And that is also kind of like an important and integral part of what you do and what is meant to be what are you doing and what is meant to be part of your integral spiritual journey on this week. So this is boiling down to this particular moment, and it's important. It's very, very powerful indeed, because you're gonna, by the end of this week, you know, through your own burden, you know, the burden, some kind of burden is gonna come through and it's gonna be revealed. Something that is annoying you, something that is getting on your nerves, something that has been slowing you down, and something that is one of the parts of your lives that was actually causing all this negativity. For example, preventing you to move on because it became the part of this big uncertainty. So basically, the certain burden is also at the same time going to become a main focus, a very important stage and very important point, and that in itself, it's also going to provide you with a certain realization, you know, and the realization that you are going to have, it's going to be so good because it's going to almost provide you with something life-changing and life-changing moment. Okay, I'm not saying that you're gonna walk out and see like a golden rain, you know, like, oh my god, life-changing moment. No, golden rain, no. But what is going to happen, golden moment, it's gonna come, it's gonna happen, it's gonna manifest, it's gonna start as in the form of the new beginning, new option, new realization, some kind of new opportunity. It's gonna present itself, but it's not as new as such. It's part of the thinking process. It's part of something that you used to do, something that you were doing, something that you wanted to do, but now you're just going to take on the whole new level. Therefore, the energy where you didn't have to make you feel rather vavavumish, it's about to return at the same time, and it's all boiling down to you taking this opportunity, taking this option on a whole new level. You will be re-energized to such a high extent, to such a high point that on one hand, it's all coming through your own inner peace. You know, within you, inside, you're going to start feeling rather vavavumish when it comes to your own inner peace. And this is the inner peace that is going to return, that it wasn't there for a while, purely because you were going going through a lot, you were going through your own rebirth, and this reflected on you in a certain way, and it stopped certain unfoldment. So now, because the harmony is coming through, it's coming forward, the conclusion to an annoying problem is coming to an end, and that is going to activate you in so many different ways. It's going to inspire you, and it's also going to become a very important starting point when it comes to the new beginning indeed. The fact that you will be praised, and that is also going to happen at the same time, because someone is going to praise you, someone is going to tell you something really good, and it's just going to come from the person who you wouldn't expect, and that in itself is also going to be such a wonderful starting point. And I really like it, because something is going to remind you on your past and all the depression and the sadness that you actually went through. So now this is going to be a rather nice flip-flop moment that you are going to have, and it's going to be the beginning and the start of something very ecstatic when it comes to your own luxurious situation. You see, going back to 10 of Swords, of course, look at this, 10 of Swords, going back to all the way down 10, the last 10 months, all the stress and the things that were preventing you to move on, the things that were causing you negativity and unnecessary effort that you had to kind of like use, unnecessary energy. Now it's all going to start making sense. It's absolutely wonderful, because the bottom line is this all created a burden, and that burden created a kind of blocked you from moving on in your life, and that in itself stops you from being optimistic. And it's easy and it's simple, because you just can't really realize what's around you, so you haven't got anything to kind of like motivate you. So this is where the motivation is going to return in a form of like enlightenment and vitality. But you will be sad, because you will know you're going to make a decision, and something is going to make you sad because it's just going to kind of put you away from the certain situation, maybe certain people in your life, but that doesn't matter. It's all about you feeling daring. By the end of this week, you're going to become a part of like a rather adventurous and daring situation, and that is going to lead towards the new beginning with unlimited possibilities. But on another hand, it's going to help you so much with those stages of your life that you were restrained. This is a sacred moment in time that you are going to have, my gorgeous Pisceans, because you will see something is just going to be like, oh my God, an important moment, realization when it comes to the part of your life that was very, very kind of uncertain. But then on another hand, it's all about the certain unlimited possibilities that you will have. That is very, very, very important for you to understand that what you're doing right now is absolutely perfect. Very important, because most certainly it is all about your own justice that is about to start returning to you. This is also the beginning of an absolutely remarkable moment in your life, when your own justice is about to return into your sign, into your life, into your dimension, and you will see exactly what I mean, my gorgeous Pisceans, indeed. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you, okay? And I wish you a happy Christmas, Merry 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 Christmas. Okay, I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, Happy New Year 2020. I love you all. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Send you brightest blessings, lots of healing, love and light. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.